Hi, and welcome to a video about Quake Live Clan Arena Tactics. Lately I've had a number of requests for me to make a video about positioning and team play, so I decided to put this tutorial together. This video isn't the be-all and end-all of available tactics, which is why I've entitled it Part 1. I'll only make a further video if the demand is high enough. So without further ado, let's get into it. The hardest part of giving advice to players is the fact that personal advice only truly applies to players with similar skills and experience. To demonstrate this, I've quickly put together this diagram explaining the three main aspects of a player in Clan Arena and how those aspects come together to form tactics. Now let's analyse some plays recorded in game. I'll stick to the same map to keep the advice consistent. Okay, as we can see here, this is not a very good situation. There's a player behind me, there are two in front of me, one in the corridor and one a bit further on the right hand side. Let's see how this plays out. Okay, as we can see, I died and so did my entire team. This is a simple surrounding tactic where using me as bait in the centre allows my teammates to attack on the outskirts, stopping the enemy from escaping. Notice how I'm using the most appropriate weapon for each situation, starting out with rockets, which does the most radius damage when there is a large group of opponents, and then switching to lightning gun and then finally rail. Okay, let me break down what's going on here. Our positioning is sorted and the opposing team have bailed. The worst thing that we can do right now is hang around at Grinder. We need to get out there in a coordinated attack to keep the pressure on. Okay, in this situation, one of the opponent team members has decided to rail from a distance without telling his team, so what you have here is two of his team members taking on three of us. Let's see what happens. It's important to do what you're really good at, but also aligning what you want to do with what your team wants to do. Okay, so positioning under a defensive stance. What I mean by this is I'm surrounded by two opponents on my left and right. What I'm going to do here is sidestep the opponent on my right and use him as a shield to stop the guy behind him from hitting me. And as you can see, this was really effective and I managed to actually do a lot of damage on the other guys too. Now this is a similar example but in a 5 versus 5 situation where I've decided to actually make myself a decoy again and use the side wall and the front wall near the jump pad as a positioning advantage for me, and this allows my teammates on the outside to get lots of shots in on the opponent. And as you can see here, I don't really take much damage. I do frag an opponent and I pretty much keep the Grinder area under contention for my team. If I didn't actually do this, my team would be forced back to camp in one of the back areas, which would most likely result in a loss. Okay, so this is interesting. Positioning under an offensive stance. So what I mean by this is that our team has got control of the main area and we're not really being contended. So what we need to do is apply consistent pressure so that the opposing team don't get sit down in a comfortable position to rail us. Okay, that's one down. Now I need to continue on applying the pressure. Now this is quite a crucial moment. My team are quite weak, so I need to keep applying the pressure and make myself heard. I do this by using plasma gun as I'm chasing. By using plasma gun, the sounds cause confusion for the enemy team, and it also takes their attention away from my team members. And as you can see, it worked really well. Now here I just want to demonstrate how important the strongest position on the map is for any situation, especially 1v1 like this. Although I missed that shot, you can see that I have access to every avenue that the opponent would want to take. Here is a replay of that sequence from the opponent's point of view. By using the grenade launcher, he gave away his position. Now what do you do when it's a 1v1 situation and your opponent has the high ground? The answer is trick them. The key here is fake the initial rocket jump so he thinks that you're going to go high, and then fire one rocket so that he doesn't go over the edge to rail you, and then one more time, but this time do a nice cheeky rail on the way down. And that pretty much wraps up the video. I've enjoyed making this. If you find it helpful, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you later.